Oh well, is this gonna work? It might have to be about as good as she gets. Unless. Apologies to anybody that's shown up. Just having some camera troubles. There. I think that should not be. I think that should be not too bad. Just bear with me 1 second. Cool. Okay. So today we are there. We are going to be painting some of my kit bashed space lizards here. For anybody that hasn't seen them yet on Instagram or whatever, these are going to be my counts as the unique rattling sniper team from Blackstone Fortress. Obviously, these are lizard people, not rattlings, but they have all the correct equipment. So you've got, I forget which is which. One's Rain, one's Rouse. That's their names in Blackstone Fortress. One of them is the sniper character, and the other is like a bomb guy with a grappling hook. And they've just got a lot of like fun and silly little rules. They're actually pretty decent in game. But anyways, I made these guys for my mixed race space pirate army, and yeah. So basically, where we're at is I've just airbrushed the base colors onto them, which is the blue for the armor, and I'm going for a yellowy green skin on these guys, just to differentiate them a bit from my brown green Kroot. So this guy I haven't done any work on at all yet. The sniper guy, I don't know how clear that is for you guys, but I have started to work in the skin tones for him, as well as bring out the yellow on his crest and on his little back um, little back scales there. Sorry, bear with me, guys. I'm trying this new thing here where I actually where I actually try a little bit for a live stream. So I've got the camera set up on a tripod, and then I'm actually watching live chat on my TV over there. So if it takes me a minute to read things, that's why I'm just trying to look between to make sure everything's at least somewhat clear for you guys. Hopefully this is a little bit better setup than I normally do. It looks not too bad from what I'm looking at, but I see I've got my first message here from Penguin, of course. Are they a unit or separate units? So they're kind of weird. They're one of those weird ones, kind of like how Tau drones used to be, where they are a unit of two individual guys, and they're both characters. But basically, as soon as the game starts, they can take off and go their own separate ways. They have a lot of like really weird, interesting little rules. Like for example, if if the guy that doesn't have the sniper rifle, and like I said, I forget whose name is whose. If the guy that doesn't have the sniper rifle is able to see the target for the sniper rifle guy, let's say he like acts as a spotter. I think he gets to re-roll. He gets to re-roll his shot or something. None of their weapons are too crazy good. His is just like a one-shot basic sniper rifle, and this guy he gets a one-shot like satchel grenade thing that actually could, in theory, do some damage. What I find that they're good for though, and I have actually used them in a couple games, they're super tiny, and the fact that they can split and go their own ways, and then they're also characters, means that it's super easy to hide them. And then they get to like forward deploy, so they basically get like like the turn one deep strike kind of thing. And then they also have a cool rule where they can shoot and then move. So you could, in theory, like get some extra movement out of that. So they're actually like really fast, little annoying things, and they're like I think they're 40 points for the unit, so 20 points each. So yeah, like ninth edition, it's all about those objectives and being annoying and getting in all the, different parts of the board. So little tiny units like these are actually really fun and really good in game right now. I kind of put them up there like with like Croot Hounds, like for the Tau. A lot of competitive lists, a lot of good players now finally see the value in our Croot Hounds. Little units of Croot Hounds running around the board, just the same thing as these guys. They're just annoying little things that people have to deal with. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and start painting here. And I'll probably just ramble on as I usually do. I know this is super late, so I'm not expecting too many people to show up. But so yeah, so I'm going to continue working on this guy. Again, I don't know how super clear this is, but I've started working on his skin tones. So he was yellow originally, same as this guy. And we've slowly layered green over top of that. We used, I'm going to forget. I think it's like Scarsnick green mixed with some Caliban green, and then using a little bit of Coelia green shade wash, I believe. And then also what I really like to do when I paint green is to actually do like purple washes in the recesses. Whoops. I think that that gives you some good skin tones as I drop them and break them. If anybody's curious about how these are made at all, I believe on my Instagram, on a couple posts, I did a couple like work in progress posts for them, and I think I went into detail there about how they're made. But if anybody has any questions, is curious, feel free to ask. I'll just set this man over here while I work on his friend here. But yeah, so we're just going to continue with those skin tones. I think I might be fairly happy with them. I think I'm going to go even a little bit brighter, like a final highlight. And then I'm probably going to start on his crest and then his eyes. And then from there, we'll probably start on his blue armor. I don't know how much we'll get done tonight. It is fairly late here. I think it's probably going on 12:30, 1 o'clock. But we'll see how much we get done. I said I didn't actually I have, the next video that's coming for the channel is quite a big one. I actually think it might be broken up into like a 3-part series. But I'll go ahead and give you guys that are here a little bit of a sneak peek or a spoiler of what the next videos are going to be about. But basically what I want to do, because this is something I see a lot of people struggle with, is I want to give my advice and my ideas for how to actually save money with Warhammer and how to make some money with Warhammer, if that is something that you would want to do. Like I said, it's kind of a big topic and it's a lot to talk about in one go. But I think I might have some good help for you guys, because obviously this hobby we do is a very expensive one. There's a lot of costs involved. Whether it's the models, the paints, the whatever. So, but yeah, I think I like this isn't even I'm not trying to like make myself sound good like for the sake of the video, but basically I don't really spend much of my own money on Warhammer these days. Most of Whoa, the camera almost fell. Oh no. Oh no. Production issues. Oh no. The Russians are coming. The Russians are coming. Might be too soon. Might be too soon for those jokes. But there we go. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys. The whole friggin' camera fell over. What's that, penguin? Damn, I 100% need that. My wallet is a little light. Yeah. Yeah. So sorry, I was saying. Yeah, I pretty much don't really spend any of my own money on Warhammer these days. I've pretty much got it down to where Warhammer is paying for itself. Now, like I said, it's not just one thing, it's a combination of things that I do that allow me to save a lot of money with Warhammer. But I guess I can just kind of talk about it right now. The main one is don't buy new. Even if you want like that new on sprue kind of thing, like building it yourself is really important for you, or is a big thing for you. You can even find brand new models on sprue very, very easily, and you can save. At the minimum, you're going to be saving 20-30%, but if you're willing to put some time and effort in, you can probably save even more than that. And the trick I find with that is don't limit your search to one place. And I'm just going to go ahead and say avoid eBay entirely. eBay I find very hard to find good deals on. I don't typically see much, because the thing is, right, like there's a lot of different people selling Warhammer, right? You've got everything from moms that are selling, their husband's old stuff or their kids' old stuff to, passionate collectors that really know what it's worth. And I'm not over here advocating taking advantage of moms that don't know the value of Warhammer. That's not what I'm saying, but just depending where you look, you're gonna find different types of people selling Warhammer, and so don't like eBay. I find it's mostly gonna be people that know the value of their stuff, and they're gonna not really be given much of a deal. Like, in my opinion, like if I was going to buy a used, let's say Imperial Knight, that's normally $180, I would probably not be spending more than 120, and that's for one that's in like good shape, not one that's like you know gonna be a salvage operation. So some different places to look are, I know not everywhere in the world has these, but like in Canada we have. No, don't get my pen and just sell it without touching it. Well, like I think it's a lot of things. I think a lot of people, and you see this on Reddit a lot, is people, especially people new to the hobby, they like bite off way more than they can chew. And they're just like, okay, I want to get into Warhammer. I've decided I want to do orcs. Let's say orcs. And they just go and drop like 3 grand on brand new orc models, and then they build and paint the first couple, and then it turns out they actually don't like orcs, or they actually don't like painting orcs, or they want a different type of army. They want something more elite like knights. And so then that's when you can run into a situation where people have brand new stuff. And especially like I think a big thing is like, you know, everybody's busy. People get tired, people get lazy. Like I get hobby burnout, same as anybody. I know it might not seem like that with the rate that I seem to crank out stuff, but that's why I do so many different projects, is because I get bored very quickly of painting the same sort of things. But yeah, sorry. So don't limit your search is the big one. I find that eBay is probably the worst one for finding deals. You can still find them, but you really have to work for it. So, you can check eBay, check your local, whatever your local in the world um, app or site, like a yard sale type site. So for us, it's Kijiji. I think Kijiji might just be Canada, America. I'm not sure if it's a global thing. But Kijiji is really good because it's like, again, people that are selling on there, it's not that many like pro Warhammer players are selling on Kijiji. Because my next point is most people that are like know their Warhammer are going to be selling them on the dedicated Warhammer buy sell groups. Like if somebody's selling on Kijiji, they probably don't even know about those groups. Kind of what I'm thinking. And then also you're going to be finding people that are more local to you. And then so if you can have no luck there and you have no luck on eBay, my next option would say look at the actual Facebook marketplace rather than the Warhammer buy sell groups on there, because again, that's a more general one. You're going to find people that aren't necessarily super into the Warhammer scene. You're going to find people, like I said, like moms or dads selling their kids old stuff that they don't use anymore. You know, older folks that aren't into war, they haven't been into Warhammer for 20 years, and they're just, you know, they're just clearing out their old stuff or whatever. But yeah, like the more general the place to look, the more you're gonna find people like that that aren't like, you know, like I said, like you go on like the buy sell groups a lot of times, and you're gonna find people that are they're basically selling their stuff when you factor in shipping, like it's basically retail price or it's like 10% off, and then it's like you might as well just buy it from a GW store and know that you're at least 100% guaranteed to get the thing that you're buying. So you know, I don't understand people that sell stuff that way and then expect people to buy it, because it's like you're not even giving a deal. Like, why would you even buy that? So for yeah, so like I said, so make sure when you're looking to buy stuff. What's this? Dominic McGlynn. Hey Dominic. So we're painting some more space pirates today. We got some lizard dudes here. These are my some ratling characters from Blackstone Fortress. And then I'm just giving some tips on how to save money with Warhammer. I'm going to make a series on this where I go more in depth. I guess I'm going pretty in depth now because I just keep rambling on. But anyways, so yeah, make sure to have a broad search. Check all those places that I mentioned. And like I said, the more general the place, like Facebook Marketplace or your local app or site like Kijiji, you're gonna find more people that are like they're more reasonable. Like, you know, they might know what Warhammer is, but they don't they you know, they're like, this Carnifex is worth exactly, you know, $60 brand new. So I'm gonna sell it for 55 and not even give people a deal. You know what I mean? They're gonna be like, oh, it's a hunk of plastic, $20 kind of thing. The other thing is, I was gonna say, don't be scared of um, old, real like old, broken, you know, really poorly painted, poorly put together models, because a lot of times those are the ones, again, those ones will be, people will be willing to sell them for cheaper. Just because something has 8 layers of paint on it, or just because it was put together like shit, doesn't necessarily mean that it's unsalvageable. It might be, you know, fair enough. They might have ruined it beyond saving, but odds are it is entirely usable. And you know, there's lots of great videos and tutorials for how to strip paint or how to remove old glue. Um, so yeah, you don't need a tutorial from me on that. I don't think there's enough of them out there already. But yeah, like I have some of the best deals I've ever gotten have been on models that were like basically a write off. Like a lot of people probably looked at them and were like, yeah, that's not even worth my time. And with a little bit of TLC, it turns out they were fine. Like for example, one time I went to my local um it's actually our local gaming store is actually a pawn shop. But so I went there and they had an Eldar Wraith Lord. This is back when I had a small Eldar army. Some of you probably never even saw that because that was quite a long time ago. Um, but so it was an Eldar Wraith Lord, which is, you know, it's a fairly expensive detailed kit, whatever. But it was really broken. It was all like shattered in the bag, and I think they wanted like $20 for it. So like that was already a good deal. Turns out I took home, I laid all the pieces out. It actually wasn't even one Wraith Lord. It was two Wraith Lords. Just one of them was missing his arm or his part of his arm, I think. But basically, it was two complete Wraith Lords. And so with a little bit of TLC, I, you know, fixed them up. I replaced the hand. I think I like attached the gun like right to the end of the arm or something. Like I made it look cool. But yeah, with a little bit of work, I got two Wraith Lords for the price of like 1/3 of one, just because it was so broken. I think they didn't even know that there was two in there. And then, like I said, I had a small Eldar army for a while, and then it just didn't really like it that much. So then I sold it, and when I sold it, I now had two complete painted Wraith Lords. So, I still sold it like at a great discount for whoever bought it. Like I think the army, I think it was maybe like 1,200 points of Eldar. Like it wasn't very much, but it was all nicely painted, nicely based. And so say I sold it for 60% of retail value, or maybe 70%. Like I gave a good discount, considering everything was painted, based, well put together, and a good chunk of that was from the two Wraith Lords, which I paid next to nothing for. So right there, we're not talking a lot of money here. But on that little Eldar army, I actually made money. So like that army didn't cost me anything. I actually made, maybe it's the new thing, Warhammer Flip. Yeah, it's like Warhammer flipping the way I do it, it would be like the worst career decision you've ever made because you're working for like $1 an hour. But if you're someone like that just enjoys the painting and the building, like I said, there's ways to do it to where you're doing it, you're not at a loss basically. Like I said, I see so many people that buy all these models and then they turn around and sell them and they've just lost a couple $100. Like everything I buy it cheap, and then a lot of times I will also buy in bulk. So like when I had a big Tyranid army, for someone that might have been following me for a while, I had a pretty big painted up Tyranid army. I actually bought that army, or actually I traded that army. So this was even crazier. So I had about maybe 2,400 points of well painted based Space Marines. That was my original army. And I traded it to a guy. I said, I just want to trade this for a big Tyranid lot. I don't care what shape it's in. I don't care how broken it is or how poorly painted it is. I just want to trade this army for Tyranid army, and the bigger the better. Well, I had a guy send me probably 7,000 points of Tyranids in exchange for my, like, it was all broken. None of it was painted properly. It was all mixed match of stuff. Um, so like to a lot of people it was junk, and I got that in exchange for my fairly well painted based Space Marine army, which was like ready to be played and whatever. So he was happy with the deal, I was happy with the deal, whatever. I had these huge crates and crates of Tyranids that showed up, and so right off the bat I sorted all through it, and I picked out all the stuff I wanted, which was roughly half of it, and then I immediately went and sold the other half. So right off the bat, I've now traded my Space Marines for more than double their value in models. I then sold some of that to make a little extra money, and then I painted up. I painted up the whole Tyranid army, and I had a Tyranid army for a year or two, and I really enjoyed it, and I got lots of fun games in with it. And then when I decided I didn't want it anymore, I just sold it for a large profit. And so if you took the money from the initial sale of part of the Tyranids and add that to what I got for the painted army, again, I actually made a decent little chunk of money from that whole transaction. Like I said, we're not talking anything crazy. Like through the whole thing, like maybe I made $300 or $400 or something, but the hobby paid for itself. That's more than enough for the paint that I used on it and whatever. And you know it paid for itself. And again, like the whole flipping aspect, like don't try to be a jerk and like rip people off. Like I always try to give people good deals. Like the more extreme end of it would be like things like the big box sets that GW does. Like if you really wanted to make money more easily, that's a good option there. But like there's a scumbag way to do it and a not scumbag way to do it. A scumbag way to do it, in my opinion, is the resellers you see on eBay that just go buy the box, they don't even open it, and they just start selling it for 50% more than they paid. They bought it for 200, now they're selling it for 300 on eBay or more. That to me, complete scumbag. Don't be doing that shit. What you can do, and you can feel fine about, is you can take that whole box, because this is a good amount of work, what I'm about to tell you, and I have done this before. You take that whole box, you open it all up, you separate out all of the miniatures, and then you sell the miniatures from that set individually at a discount so that the person buying it isn't getting ripped off, but do the math, calculate it up so that you will make a nice little profit from the box. For example, the Indomitus box, I think that came with a ton of characters. It came with like 3 or 4 Space Marine characters alone. How much is a new Space Marine character from GW? For in Canadian dollars, it's $40 or $50 for one dude, like brand new. So if you have one of the characters from that box, you know that when he's sold individually, it's going to be $40 or $50 brand new. Like say the new Chaplain model or whatever. It's going to be 40 or $50, same as all the other ones. So if you like, because a lot of people will look at that box and will want the whole box. Those people can buy their own box. But a lot of people, maybe they only collect one army. They might only want one model from the box. Maybe they're looking at it and they're like, oh, I already have all that stuff. I just want the chaplain or whatever. So they're more than happy to just buy that chaplain off you. Don't charge them $40 or $50, or God forbid more than that, like some scumbags do. Charge them $20. Like, so they're getting that chaplain for half the price of what they would pay from GW when it comes out officially. And then if you do that sort of thing for the whole box, you'll end up making a good little bit of money. Like, I think I did that. I did that for one of the Indomitus boxes because I bought 2. I was splitting them with friends and stuff. And I think I ended up making about $100 off the box. Now, I had to split it all up. I had to package each individual thing up. I had to post them out to, 15 different people or whatever. So, that's a whole bunch of trips to the post office. There was a whole bunch of packaging and whatever. But yeah, when all was said and done, I think I probably made about $100. But I sold each thing individually, and I sold them for cheaper than what GW would charge. So again, like when somebody bought the Necron Warriors that were in it or whatever, I can't think of it off the top of my head, but say a brand new squad of Necrons is $60, something like that. I probably sold it for 30 or 35. So like they were getting it for half off from me, and if that's all they wanted, then great. And then there's ways to do it where it works out for everybody, and you don't have to feel like a complete and utter shithead. So that's my welcome to my TED talk on how to make Warhammer pay for itself. But yeah, like I said, like it's you're not making a career off of it unless you're like a professional quality painter. I don't think you can really make a career off it, but sorry, I got quiet there. I'm just focusing. I'm attempting to paint his eyes right now. I'm just going for a nice bright red and then the small yellow dot in the middle. I've already put in a little bit of purple wash just around the recess of the eye. And I'll probably do another layer of that just to help tidy it up when it's done. What was I looking for? Yeah, I was looking for the yellow. Where did that go? I don't know if anybody else has had this experience, but my yellow paints never seem to like see that? Like they always like want to clump up on me really bad. It's fine because I usually only ever use a little bit of it. And if this happens to you, you can just add a little bit of water and mix it up really bad with like a really good with like a stir stick. But I only ever need a tiny little bit, so it's okay. Like how liquidy it was, I'll just take it and wipe it on the cloth. Sorry, excuse me. And then you'll get that little tiny amount that you need. lighting is terrible in here. Very hard to see these little things. I should have picked a bigger. My yellow never does that. Yeah, I don't know. It's like I'm just been having bad luck lately, Penguin. So my yellow was shit. The last two of them I bought have been like that. Like I said, I've just been lazy. I haven't mixed this one up properly. If I mix it up, it'll be better. But my two yellows were shit, and then my green stuff. So I always buy my green stuff in the 3 foot rolls, like directly from Green Stuff World. And so it's like, the blue strip and the yellow strip. The yellow strip, I've never seen this before. It's got like plasticky layers on either side of it. It's like whatever their process is for making it, it's like it didn't separate properly or something. So if I just take it like you normally would and rip, take an equal portion of each and mix it together, I'll get these like hard clumps of yellow in the mix, which is it's the plasticky part all rolled up inside it. It's super annoying. So every time I mix up green stuff now, I got to pick all of these little yellow bits out. So I'm having a hard time getting like the nice smooth pieces that I need. And not a hard time, but like it's just annoying. Um, but yeah, so I don't know. I've just been having bad luck with the hobby stuff lately. But it's all right. You know, there's a lot worse things going on in the world these days than some clumpy green stuff. I make it work. So just gonna do little yellow highlights on these raised scales on his butt. And of course there will be better pictures of these guys up on my Instagram and Patreon once these are done. Yeah, I don't know how well the camera's picking up his face. There's a way I can focus this a little bit better. Maybe it will. The last time I tried this, I knocked the whole fucking camera over, so I'm not gonna try that again. I don't think I've ever asked you yet, Penguin. We've talked so many times. Where are you at in the world? You from Maple Syrup Land too, or are you somewhere a little bit more exciting? Also, feel free to not answer if that's a personal question. Just realized so I'm in New Mexico, not Mexico, New Mexico. Nice. Nice. I've never been to New Mexico. I've been to most now this is gonna sound pretty stupid, but I'm a little bit dumb. New Mexico it's in the States, right? It's a state. Because I was gonna say that I've been to almost every state, but I haven't been to New Mexico. But unfortunately, I can't name every state off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure New Mexico's in the States, and everybody can just laugh at me if that's really dumb. But yeah, no, that's cool, man. Have been dying to get down south again. Yes, it's a state, and it's a great one. Would recommend visiting. Oh, awesome, man. Yeah, I would love to. I would love to visit sometime. What are some? What are like some key things to do in your opinion if one is visiting New Mexico? So I was going down south like probably once every other year, but I was usually going to like Florida, South Carolina, that kind of area. But love to travel. I would love to get down there. Do they have do y'all have much good fishing down there? I mean, you're southern states, so I got to assume you've got some good bass fishing. Most of the southern states seem to have those giant ridiculous bass that we don't have up here. The chili is like no other, and Santa Fe is the best. I really don't know about fishing. Awesome. I do love me some chili. I actually had chili for dinner tonight. I will for sure add that to my travel list then, Penguin. The history is really the main attraction. Oh, so like a lot of museums, guided tours, that sort of stuff. I love all that shit too, so I would definitely be down to experience all that. I did a in high school, I did a really big trip all through like we visited Washington, and then we went to like Gettysburg. We learned a lot about the Civil War and all that. So that was actually one of my favorite trips. Just because of how interesting it was. I got to go to I think 3 of the Smithsonian's, and they obviously were the best museums I've ever been to. We have some good ones here, but those were definitely next level as far as that. Oh, and the Gettysburg tour was amazing. Very, very cool. The Native American landmarks are a big part, and the Spanish exploration is very interesting. Yeah, I would love to see all that for sure. Yeah, where I actually grew up on a Native American reserve up here. So like most of my best friends growing up were Native American. It's pretty it's pretty cool. It's a pretty interesting place to grow up. I myself am not Native American. There's kind of a weird thing where like everywhere around us was reserve, but like my house wasn't. But it wasn't. There was no like hard feelings or anything like that. Like we like like yeah, it was all good and all chill. But yeah, I would love to go down there for sure, Penguin. It sounds like a really cool place to visit. You'll have to take me to all the good restaurants if I come down. Take me and the fam out for dinner. So what I'm just doing now is so this is how I paint how I've been painting all of my like the part that will link all of my space pirates together is their armor. So they're all going to have the same armor color scheme. So what I start with is I airbrush the dark blue, and then I go over it with Thousand Suns blue, which is just a really striking like bluey blue, I would say. Like it's not too dark, not too light. So I go over it with that, and then I just gradually mix in more and more Dawnstone to get to a gray blue. And then for like the final highlights, I'll do a little bit of Ulthuan gray in there too, just to really brighten it up. And then I will do like stippling, scratches, weathering, and all that stuff to bring a lot of different colors into it. So what I've done now, so I've done the first layer of blue, and I'll probably just keep working with that. His like the under parts of his armor, like that would be like clothing. Probably just do those black. I just now see that I missed a part that should have been blue. Just need to get a little bit more. So many of my paints, it looks like, are starting to run low. I need to go and do a big restock here shortly. Oh, anybody that's in, it looks like we have four people watching right now. Anybody that hasn't entered yet, I'm really dumb. I made the time frame way too long, but my giveaway is actually going to be over in the next couple days. And I think there's like 30 30-ish people that have entered. It's a little video on the channel. You just go and leave a comment just saying that you've subscribed or whatever, and then you'll be entered. And so all I'm going to do is just put whatever number of comments are on there. I'm just going to put that in a number generator, and whatever number it says, I'll just scroll down to that, and that'll be the person that wins. What I might do, and I was going to save this for a surprise penguin, but since you're here, I was thinking what I'll do is I'll actually do a second giveaway. So just depending who wins it, because I think everybody from the Patreon has entered now. But what I'll do is I'll do the giveaway, and whoever wins it wins it. And then if it wasn't somebody from the Patreon, I'll one of the remaining models, because for anybody that didn't see, I'm giving away one of 3 kit bashed models to somebody who's commented on that thing. So if it wasn't someone from the Patreon, I will do a second giveaway for one of you guys. So like there's right now I think there's 4 people in the Patreon. So at the moment, you guys have a 1 in 4 chance of winning the second prize. And like I said, whoever wins initially can pick from the 3, and then whoever from the Patreon wins the second one can pick from the remaining 2. So anybody in comments that hasn't seen that would like to enter, feel free to check that out. I like those odds. Yeah, and I think I saw Penguin too that you did leave the second comment on the video, so that's good. So you also have the extra chance of winning there. And I know your mom's racing by entering it because I figured it should go to someone that actually plays for it. Well, I don't know if you saw Kajan 451, but 2 of the 3 models actually aren't Kroot. The other 2 they're I made them to be Imperial Assassins, but you can probably play them as almost anything. Like they could probably be like Chaos, I don't know, Chaos Cultists or something. So maybe have another look and see if one of them suits your fancy. But thanks for the compliment either way. Obviously, you don't have to enter if you don't want to enter. But anyone is welcome to. I can't believe, honestly, I can't believe so many of y'all have subscribed. Like, like I was just looking at it the other day, and there's like 950 something now, and like a couple of the videos have gotten like several thousand views. I'm not just being like the humble YouTuber. I genuinely thought when I made this thing, I genuinely thought this was just going to be a place where I just like for my kit bashes, like I was just going to make like kind of like where I do the kit bash showcases. Like I was just going to do more in-depth videos talking about my kit bashes or how they were made or whatever, because on some of them, especially like the Tau T-Rex, I would get a lot of questions about how it was made and stuff. And I honestly thought to myself, like, oh, it would just be easier if I could just direct everybody to a YouTube channel that asks about this stuff, just so I don't have to like type out the entire explanation of how it's made every single time. But yeah, so yeah, anybody that's watching, whether you're subscribed or not, thanks so much for watching. I think I say that every video, but genuinely shocked at how many people waste their time watching some idiot that doesn't know how to work technology make strange things. Very appreciated. Scream silently into the aether. With the following you have understand, I'm sure you would get a lot of you have non-Smurf kit rushes and says. Yeah, there is a lot of Space Marines, isn't there? Yeah, I find that. That was that was my first army was Space Marines, and it was just before Space Marine Apocalypse. So they weren't like, obviously they've always been popular, but they weren't like really good in the game, and they weren't like winning tournaments and stuff. So it seemed like not that many people were actually playing Space Marines. And I had just read some of the lore and the books and stuff, and I was like, oh, these guys are cool. Like, I'll do them. And then Space Marine Apocalypse happens, and turns out I didn't know this about myself, but apparently I'm a bit of a hipster. And I was like, oh, everybody likes Space Marines now? Well, now I don't like them. So I was like, I'm gonna start other armies, and I started. I've got Chaos, and now I do lots of all the different Xenos. Times it feels like it's just Space Marines and Nurgle on YouTube. You and Modern Synthesists are the only ones that do something else. Yeah, Modern Synthesist is like my hero. Thanks so much for shouting him out. I've mentioned him a couple times in my videos. I I'm just like so stubborn and like stupid that I just kind of refuse to follow tutorials and stuff. But if I ever wanted to, or if I ever need something, I always go to Modern Synthesis. His like green stuff videos are my absolute favorite, and I am a huge fan of everything he makes on Instagram. So if anybody watching is not following him already, go and check that man out. He probably had a serious action to mention green stuff. Yeah, I think he doesn't like them very much. I think I remember him saying that. Um, Honestly, it was just a cost thing that I was buying it in the three, because I originally was buying it off Amazon from a third party, but it was way cheaper to buy it from Green Stuff World. So, and that was before I realized that they're kind of not the nicest company sometimes. But anyways, I cannot say enough good things about Modern Synthesis. His green stuff work and his sculpting and stuff makes mine look like a kid, rolling dirt outside. Like, it's not even close. But his is extremely inspiring. Every time I go on his thing, I'm like, maybe I need to do Tyranids again. maybe, maybe I need another Tyranids army. Um, Honestly, yeah, his stuff is so cool. And I know he's in our Kroot Discord, and I know he's made some really cool, unique crew. His crew are like Tyranid hunters, so they're all decked out in Tyranid bones and claws, and they're very very cool. Definitely some of my favorite conversions. Yeah, and there's been a couple times where he's like giving me compliments, and I'm like, get out of here, get out of here, you freaking god among men, you. No, he's super nice guy too. The couple times I've talked to him, he's always been super humble, super nice. Yeah, I know some people. Thanks so much for the compliments, by the way. I don't know how to say that name, Kajin or Cajun. Um, Very kind of you. Yeah, I know. Like, I'll get those sometimes from people where they'll like, they'll say stuff about my stuff. I'm like, yeah, I think there's a reason I say average average Joe. I think I'm like okay, but there's certainly many people much better than me, and a big part of it is patience and uh, and time. Like, I have a super busy life. I'm like kind of low level management at a really big factory, but also like I'm not. I say management. I'm more like fix fix this $10 million machine, Zach, or you know something's gonna explode. Like that. I'm not managing people. I just run around and fix stuff that's way more complicated than I should be allowed to fix. But that's uh that's everybody's job, I'm sure. As I forget what I was saying. Oh, I'm just an idiot. I am just an idiot. So I'm sure there's like really good tutorials from people too. But again, I'm just like I would just rather kind of figure it out on my own. But I know that probably I could probably get better if I learn from people. I can't think of I wish I could recommend to you guys like good tutorial people. I know that the I know Warhammer official gets a lot of shit, but I know they don't have Duncan anymore, but I always thought their painting tutorials were pretty good. I mean, actually, wait a minute. Duncan has his own channel, so I would say um, check out his painting tutorials because I'm sure they are some of the best around if they're from the Duncan himself. The Like I said, I never really watched too many of them, but though a couple I did, I always found them to be pretty easy to follow if you're looking to up your painting game. And so you said it was the second one. So does that lead me to believe that you're from, if you're Cajun, that's Louisiana? Two thin coats. Yes. Yes, always two thin coats. I love Duncan. I said I don't watch much of his videos, but I just like him as a person. And he actually gave me a compliment on one of my kit bashes, so I'm from Germany. Oh, okay, so I wasn't even close. Personally, today even I thought of things because you sometimes learn a different way to do things you already know. Yeah, that's probably a better outlook than me, Cajun. How are things in Germany these days? That is, I was talking to Penguins earlier about taking a trip down south to see where he's from, but I have also always wanted to go over to Europe. Although I say that obviously I know some of Europe is a bit of a shit show right now, but um, I would love to go to Germany someday. I would love to go to Germany. I would love to see castles. I would love to go for Oktoberfest and have lots of delicious beers. And yeah, I would love to do all of the cool things. Still in sort of COVID lockdown, and with the war like 12 car hours away, people are nervous. Yeah, I can imagine. I have I've been following that whole thing probably closer than I should, and it's very very sad. Yeah, I honestly have a hard time not getting emotional, especially with anything with kids, like because I have my own kids now. If I see anything with like kids getting hurt or anything like that, it yeah makes me very angry, makes me very sad. Hope obviously hope everyone's doing okay. Enough depressing talk though. There's enough negative shit in the world. So okay, so you say other than that, it's great here. Okay, so tell me some. So say I was gonna go to Germany tomorrow, not maybe not tomorrow, but say I was gonna go to Germany next year. What are some what are some like must do things, must see things? I can recommend visiting the southwest of Germany to get away from the Bavaria stereotype. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what Bavaria is, but I'll take your word for it. Southwest Germany. Now, is there castles there? Because that is a must. I must see. I must see the real castles. We have no castles here in Canada. That is my spelling being bad. Hmm. Bavaria. Okay. I still a Canadian castle would be cool. Right? It would just be I mean, we have Oktoberfest and all that. Oh, so you're saying I shouldn't go to see the Oktoberfest and all that? Because I was like, I always see the pictures and I'm like, oh, that looks awesome. But maybe it's more of a shit show than it's worth. Is that what I'm hearing? And yeah, a Canadian castle would be cool. Um, Great Penguin. Unfortunately, we just build really tall towers in Toronto, and then they actually aren't even that tall anymore. Um, yeah. Canadians not known for their monument buildings. Unfortunately. They have a couple cool things. Canada, I always tell people from different countries, like you come more for the natural beauty than like there's cool cities in Canada. Don't get me wrong, and I might be a little bit biased because I'm a friggin' hillbilly at heart, but yeah, the city life of Canada is obviously not like the cities here are not like the big famous cities from elsewhere. If you're gonna come to Canada, come and see like the natural wonders, Niagara Falls, whatever. Just like the amount of like land and openness and like when they say like cottage country, or that's just like all of Canada. It's just like it's all cottages and lakes and nice little towns, nice little villages. Bavaria is sort of our version of Texas in Oktoberfest, our version of cowboy hat and cowboy boots. If you want castles, you need to go to the Rhine area, like southwest of France, so soon to meet. They have like a castle every 10 miles. The most famous would probably be Schwanstein, the one Disney got inspired by for the. Oh, so Disney stole their logo from you. It's okay, Cajun. You don't have to say it nicely. um, okay, all right. I'll take your word for it. Yeah, I would love to, like, me and the wife would love to go and do like a big European tour. Unfortunately, that's probably quite far away down the road, but would love to get over there and do that someday. So I'm kind of all over the place between rambling on and painting, but I've got a lot of the blue done, and then I've just went and done the black under bits. I'm just going to do some final highlights with Ulthuan Gray, which is like just an off-white. And after that, I will likely be doing like weathering using typhus corrosion and that's what I've been using on these pirates. Because my idea with them, and I think I said it in another video, is that they're because it's the squats are the ones leading all these, which are just like space dwarfs, and their base is in a asteroid belt, and they're heavily mining the asteroids for ore and whatnot, and then they smuggle it and whatever. And anyway, so that makes a very like steam rich environment, which corrodes a lot of their armor and stuff, and that's why, even though it's really well made by the space dwarves, it does get corroded quite a bit. So if you go visit, I would do a tour, fly into Munich. Yes, that is Bavaria. Do the museum tour, German museum, and the hospice tour with all the breweries, and then go on a round towards Lake Constance, visiting all the castles and get some of those beautiful bits of the Black Forest in Germany as well. Wow, you've like planned out my whole trip for me. That sounds awesome. I will do. We'll we'll put that in the agenda right after I go down south and visit penguins. if Penguins is still in the chat, but yeah, they're saying I'm gonna go to New Mexico, visit them, which is one of the only states I've never been to. So also very excited for that. And now Penguins doesn't seem to be much of the fishing type, but if I get down there, I'm gonna take them fishing. It's guaranteed. Same with you, Cajun. If I get there to Germany, I'm taking you fishing. I don't know what you guys got over there. I think you got like giant pike and what's that thing you got that looks like a walleye? Xander. You guys got Xander. They're like giant walleye. Yeah, I'll take you guys. Wherever I go, I'm taking you guys fishing. And then go up towards Freiburg Bridge. Stop at the world's biggest. The world's biggest, third biggest winery. I for sure. For sure, you need a license fishing here. Can you not? Can you not get one unless you're a citizen, Cajun? Is that a thing? Because like here in Ontario, um, anybody here in Ontario, anybody can get a fishing license. Like you have to pay for it, obviously, and I think it's a little bit different for people like from out of the country, but you might have to pay a little more. But anybody can come as long as you buy the license. You're fine to fish. All right, we got a couple here all at once. Where is the best place you've been fishing from Donnie? Um, that is a tough one. Um, honestly, hmm. In terms of just like fun, probably fishing in Nova Scotia, Canada. Um, fishing in the ocean, and so it's like $50, and they take you out on a charter boat with a bunch of other people, and the seas were like ridiculously rough. People were puking, people were falling overboard, which was super funny because I never get seasick, so I was fine. But you're literally catching like two fish every minute, and they're all the most delicious fish in the world, which is like cod and pollock. Um, which none of them fight super hard, but it's just a ton of fun and it's super cheap. Um, so that was really fun. I did barracuda fishing in Cuba. That was fun. And then like for what I do around here, I do a lot of bass fishing, pike fishing, muskie fishing, walleye fishing. And I like for me like the bigger the better, but I also love eating fish. So I'm really not too picky. Like if I catch a big muskie, super happy. But if I just catch a bunch of walleye for dinner, then that's super good too. I think oh, you guys are making me have to actually scroll here. Oh no. How do I do this? Um, can I look back? Oh, sorry, the camera fell. I missed messages. I know this is shameful, but I've only caught one tiny fish. Penguin. Penguin, it is shameful. No, it's okay. I know fishing isn't for everybody. But for sure, if I ever someday, guys, when I'm famous, we do a meetup. That's what the meetup is. I'm taking all of you. I'm taking everybody fishing, and you're all catching fish. Um, for real, and this is 100% real. If anybody is ever in Ontario in the fall time or the springtime, hit me up and I will take you guys fishing for something really cool. And I can those times a year I can all but guarantee you will catch something big and cool. So in the springtime, we get a whole bunch of fish running up to spawn that include walleye, garpike, and carp and catfish. And I know where there's a lot of big ones, and they're super easy to catch, especially the garpike. Garpike are like ridiculously easy to catch, and they look like dinosaurs with like an armored body and big long nose full of teeth. Like they're really cool. You can catch them like 4 feet long, like super easy. And that can take you for that. And then you come in the fall, and I actually used to, as a side way to make money, I used to guide we call people from the city like Toronto. We call them cityots. I used to guide cityots every year for salmon. We get we get big salmon that come in from Lake Ontario up all the rivers, and they're coming in to spawn and die. Like I'm sure everybody knows the salmon life cycle. But if you get them early, when they first come in the river, they're still silver, and you can fight one of these salmon for like an hour. Like that's how long it can take to reel them in. And they're going up and down waterfalls. You got to run up and down the bank and chase them. And these fish can be over 30 pounds, some of them. The biggest ones I've caught, they're like 20, 25, which is still a huge fish. Um, but yeah, it's like a crazy workout too, chasing these things up and down the river. It's a blast though. Like I'll go there, you know, not so much now that I have kids, but I would go the whole day down there, and by the end, like your arms are just noodles. So yeah, I'm gonna make I'm gonna make a redneck out of all of you. But yeah, thanks so much to everybody for the recommendations. I think I saw too, somebody said I should go fishing in the Gulf. For sure. If I next time I end up down there, I will be doing that. Everywhere I travel, I try to fish. So I've fished in 3 different countries, but then I've fished in quite a few places in America and Canada. Um, but just between having kids and then COVID and everything, I haven't got to travel as much as I wanted to. Kid Blue, do you travel a lot? I used to. So, good evening to you too. I don't know what time it is where you live. It's fucking late as hell here. Um, I used to, my family and I used to go down south like every other year, and we would usually go to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and then also sometimes Florida. And then my dad was been a transport driver his whole life, so we used to go with him every summer, and we would go all over the place, like down to Louisiana, down to Texas, um, and then I've also been like all over Canada. Like I've been to the East Coast a couple times, been down to Cuba. Um, yeah, so not that many places, but I've been all over North America quite a bit, and I want to travel. It's just I have little kids. It's a lot of money, and then with COVID and everything, it's been obviously nuts the last couple of years. But yeah, oh, I'm down to travel everywhere. Maybe not. Maybe not Ukraine right now, but other than that, I'd be pretty much down to go anywhere. You can sign me up for kayaking, camping. I'd be up for that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love all that. I actually have two canoes right now. I love canoeing or kayaking. We used to do so much dumb shit as kids too. Like when I say we used to ride canoes down waterfalls with no life jackets or anything, like all the time, and no parents knew where we were or anything. That was like all the time we were doing that stuff. And yeah, I don't know how I survived this long to make shitty videos for you guys, but I'm glad I did. This is my secret agenda is to slowly convert World War. Man, that sounds awesome. Hope you didn't find anything dangerous while you were doing that. It's wild. I've seen videos of people, maybe not in Germany, but I've seen people exploring old World War II bunkers and stuff, and that is exactly the kind of stuff I would have done if I was there. Still got the scars to prove it. Awesome. Never trust people without scars. People that lived they lived a too safe life. We don't have I don't have any cool bunkers here. It was mostly just like, falling off waterfalls or trees and shit. But I'm sure you've got some pretty epic stories with that. There, Cajun. But I realize I'm not talking about this at all. I haven't. You guys are so distracting. I haven't got much painting done. No, I'm just joking. Um, but yeah, I'm just slowly chipping away. I think I'll probably get this guy done. I'll get this lizard man done, and I'll post some pics up so you guys can see what we were doing here tonight. I grew up on the Rhine, so lots of fortifications there. Yeah, geez, I can imagine. I would imagine there's ruins, nothing special, barely more than some walls. That's really cool, though. There's so much. You guys have so much more like layers of history, I guess, over there in Europe. Like Canada, it's kind of like you have like the Native American stuff, but they didn't really build much like structures and things. Like you can find the odd arrowhead, but you wouldn't find like ruins of a city or a town. And then you just have modern history, which is, kind of a lot of garbage anyway. So that must be really cool to grow up somewhere like that. A little bit jealous, not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm from was founded by the Romans in like 600 BC. Jeez. Yeah, that's wild. You guys must find like I know I keep saying like you guys must, but I know I see things on the news all the time. Like people find crazy shit, like they're like putting a new basement in or something, and then they dig up Roman gold or something. Pretty wild. Pretty wild. You're not holding. That's one of the cool parts about it. You can see the Native American towns. Or 10 kilogram bomb. Jeez, I hope you didn't find a 10 kilogram bomb. The cool parts of New Mexico. Let's see. So, New Mexico penguin, is it mostly like deserty? I'm assuming that's probably a dumb question. If it's New Mexico, it's probably right down there with like Texas and the Mexico border. Um, so it's probably quite deserty. So, see, I would have to be really careful if I go visit you guys because, as you guys have probably seen from my stories last summer, I pick up a lot of snakes, and I feel like if I go somewhere where there's dangerous snakes, it's just a matter of time where I'm going to try to be friends with the wrong one. Um, so I assume you guys would have like rattlesnakes and stuff, which obviously I know what a rattlesnake is, but like there would be some idiot part of my brain that was like, maybe you should catch it. Maybe this rattlesnake will be your friend. So yeah, that's all. That's probably like an irrational worry of mine about traveling down south. I live in the Southwest. I wouldn't recommend it down. Yeah, yeah, Cajun, you don't know how true that is. I literally grew up. That was my dream in life. I wanted to be Canadian Steve Irwin, and like I think I posted most of my. I think I posted some stuff on my Instagram, but like this summer, I like full on jumped up to my neck in a swamp full of leeches and everything else to catch a probably 40-pound snapping turtle that was trying to kill me the whole time. And I had to fish it up from the bottom of the swamp with my foot and somehow not get bit, and then climb back up onto the boardwalk just to show my kids. Meanwhile, the whole time it's trying to kill me. Super fun. Wouldn't recommend for other people though. You'd probably get your finger bit off. But yeah, I've always done stupid stuff like that. I even when I went to Cuba, so like I don't know all the wildlife in Cuba off the top of my head. I know there was a lot of lizards running around, but I found two snakes in Cuba, and one of them was like bright blue. Like we're talking like this color of blue, like Thousand Suns blue. And I caught both of them. And there's pictures of me wrangling these snakes on the side of the trail in Cuba. And keep in mind, I was like drunk out of my mind the whole time, catching snakes that I don't even know what they are. And some of the gardener guys were laughing and stuff. But yeah, so I don't. I feel like I'm not. I feel like I'm not safe enough to go around dangerous animals. What's that? So it's deserty, but the river is pretty green, and yes, be careful of snakes, but not just the rattlesnakes, all of them. You must give your partner a heart attack. Yeah, Kid Blue, she's pretty used to it by now. But now like she doesn't really like that stuff. See, like my kids love that stuff. So I got a 3 year old or 4 year old daughter now who like So the biggest snake around here where I live is just it's called the water snake, and they get at the biggest they get is maybe 3.5, 4 feet long, and they're a brownish black color. But the whole thing is they are quite aggressive. If you pick one up, like it's going to try to bite you. It's going to try to bite you a lot, and they also tend to shit on you when you pick them up because they're trying to get away. Obviously, it's not their fault, but so they smell, they try to bite you, and they're fairly big, and so everybody around here hates them. Everybody's scared of them. Anybody that fishes doesn't like them. And then there's me and my 3-year-old daughter last year catching tons of these things, and she'll hold them all by herself. Like obviously, I get it all calmed down, and if it's gonna bite anybody, it bites me. And then once I have it all under control, then I'll let her hold it carefully, like while I'm there. But yeah, people freak out over the pictures of this little kid holding these big monster snakes. Yeah, definitely no Australia. There's just too. Yeah, yeah, we don't have any that are poisonous here. The only poisonous snake in Ontario is one small type of rattlesnake, and they are like critically endangered, and they only live in one. I think it's two little like pockets of marsh that are basically surrounded by city, so they can't even really get out if they wanted to too much. So, yeah, you don't. There's nothing. There's no dangerous snakes here. Now we do have. I know we have like the dangerous things in Canada. Like people will be like, "Oh, you guys have bears and you have cougars and wolves." That's not what's going to get you. 9 times out of 10, it's the moose. Everybody forgets about the moose. Moose will straight up kill you. Like no, no questions asked. Moose are not nice. They are not your friend. They are the meanest. They're the meanest freaking deer on the planet Earth. Miss City coward. Aw, don't call yourself a coward, penguin. We'll get you. I said any of you guys that come to the first average Joe Crute dude uh, meetup. We're not only are we going fishing. If I find a snake, I'm catching it. You guys are gonna have to deal with it. I'm gonna make a redneck out of all you. Um, yeah, the moose, the moose situation, frankly, has got out of hand. I think we need to do something about these mooses. I'm joking, of course. I love the moose, but they are super dangerous. I can deal with it just fine. It's you catching it, not me. Oh, if I catch it, you gotta hold it. Gotta hold it. Well, we'll all get bit together. It's like it's like a space marine, brother bonding ritual. Only we all get bit by a water snake together. Or if we're all meeting up in New Mexico with Penguin, then I guess we're all getting bit by a rattlesnake together. So really, it just depends. Just depends where we are. This seems to pretty much always happen when I do one of these actual really long live streams. We just start talking about stuff that has nothing to do with Warhammer. Kid Blue. Oh no. It's okay, Kid Blue. You don't need to be. That's the most expensive meat ever. Yeah, well, the problem, it's all you guys' fault. All right, you're all living all over the place. You all need to just come to Ontario with me. It's we can we can join the friggin' trucker convoy. Oh my god. Yes, we do. We all have stupid shit going on. No way, I have a snake phobia. I used to love snakes, so my parents took me to a reptile house. It was the most dramatic experience because I was to Black Mamba. Oh, Cajun. Oh, you poor guy. And she would strike the glass to try to bite me as we watched the video. I don't come to the streams to learn how to paint. I come here. Aw. That's very sweet, Penguin. I would. You must be here for this. You must not be here for the painting because I haven't done very much of it. Oh God. Yeah. Cajun loves snakes in theory. He loved. He hypothetically loves snakes, and then the snakes didn't love him back. That's the thing. It's like I love I love snakes. I love the snapping turtles. I love all these things. But I have fully accepted that they do not like me at all. They hate me and they would kill me if they could. They can't because they're not poisonous, but they definitely try their hardest. I probably this isn't an exaggeration at all. I probably get bit by snakes a good 20 times a year at least. Like this is from since I've been we're talking like since I've been 4 years old. I've probably been bit by snakes 20 times a year, and I still like them. It's nice to have people to vibe with while you paint. Yeah, honestly, that's the best part. Like we got a couple regulars here. Like I think Cajun's been here before, and Penguin is always here. But it's really nice that I've got you guys to hang out with. I actually don't have very many. I have very few like Warhammer friends. There's just a couple of us here that do it, or at least that I know that do it. So it's nice to have other people to talk to while I'm painting and doing stuff. I'm going to see my friend tomorrow, and I'm going to meet his snake, and it's going to be amazing. Snakes will make me freak out. These two, no allergy. What kind of snake is it, Penguin? And good job painting Fire Warriors Kid Blue. That is a lot of it's a lot of hard angles to paint. I find the like flat panels, like flat armor or flat panels on a vehicle, I find those to be the most like tedious to paint because there's no room for error. Maybe that's just me though. I think some people like it. I would rather like organic stuff like Kroot skin. But yeah, so what type of snake does your friend have there, Penguin? Cajun's been a subscriber of yours ever since. Yeah, yeah. I think one of my first live streams, maybe it was one of the ones on Instagram. Wasn't it you and me, Cajun, that were just talking about nonsense for like hours? I think it was you. I always lose. I'm terrible with remembering names. The only reason I remember Penguin is because he's got the perfect. The name's Penguin, and then he's got the Penguin logo. So I just have always remember. I always remember Penguin. But everybody else, I just kind of that it all blends together for me. I know that's like it's like that with people in real life, so nobody feel bad about that. I don't know, but he told me it's not venomous. Oh, so then you got nothing to worry about. Now, if it is, I will say, Penguin. If it's any type of a python, like a ball python, are a really popular pet. If that bites you, they do have really bad hooked teeth. So try to resist the urge if it did bite you to just like yank your arm away, because one, you'll actually make the teeth go deeper, and then you can also hurt the snake, obviously, which I understand for normal people being bit by a snake is probably going to be pretty traumatic, and you're probably going to reflexively, jerk your arm away or whatever. Um, but yeah, try if it bites you to not like freak out because it might be worse if it is a ball python. So hope I don't need your advice. Honestly, um, if it's, now I have been bit by a python twice, and both times it was pretty bad. But if it's not a python, it honestly won't hurt at all. Like being bit by a snake doesn't hurt hardly at all. Their teeth are really small. It's just like a small pinch. If it's a python, their teeth are pretty bad, and you're going to be bleeding. So try not to make the snake angry. And I'm so sorry, Cajun. Yeah, we definitely have chatted a bunch of times. You're absolutely right. I am just a donut. And in my defense, it is 2 in the morning right now. So not firing on all cylinders, to be absolutely fair. Absolutely fair to poor Zach, who can't remember anybody. Yeah, Python needs to hold on to you to wrap around. Yeah, that's like their teeth literally just like I got bit. Like I was a kid, but I got bit by a pretty big python. Like uh, I'm seeing I'm seeing on the TV there's like a delay between when I'm talking and the actual video, but I got bit like right here on my forearm by by a python once, and yeah, it just like locks right on. And so you need the snake to let go on its own, basically, or you need somebody's help to like pry it off. Whereas like a normal, like I said, I get bit by snakes probably 20 times a year, and it's less than a paper cut. I promise, it's like nothing. But yeah, the python was nasty, and that was funny enough. That was at like a reptile show in the mall, and the people are like, "Oh yeah, here you go. Like you can come see the snake." And I just like walked up to it and just latched onto my arm. I was like, "Oh, okay." Apparently, apparently the snake did not want to be held by this child at the moment, but no hard feelings. It's all good. What's everybody's thoughts on the? You guys play any video games? I am like so embarrassingly behind on video game culture. I used to be pretty into them, but I just like have no time these days, so I don't even really look. But I know there's a bunch of like supposed to be like really good games coming out. I know there's one, I think it's called Elden Ring, but I don't know anything about it. Is that something we're all into these days? Probably makes me sound like a friggin' old man not even knowing the video games that are out right now. Yeah, I'm playing games, just not much anymore. I'm playing Elden Ring. Well, it's not new, but Jedi Fallen Order is 10 out of 10. A friend at work was actually telling me about Jedi Fallen Order. They said it was really good. I played the Force Unleashed games back in the day, and I really liked them. So I mean, it's the new Dark Souls kind of. Okay, okay. See, I'm not so out of it that I don't know what Dark Souls is. I did play number one. I played number one, and then I played Bloodborne, but I didn't play number two, or I think there's three now. But I liked it. It is like the whole thing is it's like ridiculously hard. Elden Ring is basically the new Dark Souls from Dark Souls creators, made with the help of creator of Fire and Ice. I like it. I'm having a harder time getting through it than the other Souls game. So, okay. So it's like it's the new Dark Souls type game, but it's different. Like it's a different world and stuff. That's cool. I might have to check it out then. Um, this I don't think I said this on Instagram yet, but I actually um am selling my Imperial Knights army. So I know that that's not at all what I'm like known for, but I do have a pretty decent little Imperial Knights army. I'm selling it to a friend, and then he's also commissioning me to paint like five other knights. And I'm going to use all that money to actually get my own computer. For the first time in my life, I'm actually going to get a computer. I've never owned one, or like, sorry, I'm going to build a computer. I've never had a real computer, but I'm going to get a computer. And then I think with that, I'll be able to make better videos for you guys. And I'll also be able to play the new Total War games, which I really want to play. And then my brother is away at university, so I'll finally be able to play games with him again. So that'll be cool. What is this? I missed a couple messages here. God, I was rambling on, and I missed shit. Let me see. Like it, I'm having a harder time. The other Souls games, yeah, open world with horse riding and stuff. I'm more into strategy games. Oh, so have you played the new Total War games then, Cajun? Or Total War Warhammer 3? Because that's the one I'm thinking. I think that might be like the first game that I get when I get my PC set up, and that'll be fairly soon. Like I'm probably gonna have it. I don't know, 2 months from now. 2 months from now, suddenly you guys are gonna be like, "Wow, Average Joe is actually making like proper videos." Haven't played the third one. Okay, so you did play number 1 and 2. So, um, definitely worth building a C. Maybe not the cheapest and easy option, but it is a great experience. I'm always am happier with my built PC. Yeah, yeah. So to both of you, I've been following the Total War games since number one. Obviously, I love Warhammer, and I always loved Warhammer Fantasy, and I've always loved those like, um, control your army, build your empire kind of games. And this one just looks, yeah, yeah. I saw that Cajun. It's the graphics cards, right? It's all the friggin' Bitcoin. Yeah, the Bitcoin mining that's stealing them all up. So my brother is a super computer genius guy, and I gave him a budget, and I told him to find me all the parts and stuff. So he sent me the parts list. He was able to find me a graphics card that wasn't like crazy overpriced, and it was not the best thing in the world, but it was like pretty good. So I'm working with a pretty decent budget just to start off with, and then obviously I can upgrade down the road. So, yeah, hopefully it'll be a good experience. Like I said, I've never owned a computer. I have not played a computer game since like living at my mom's house playing friggin' World of Tanks with my brother. Um, and that was about the extent of it. So I'm pretty excited. And yeah, the Total War games always look super cool. I love Warhammer Fantasy. I love almost all the factions. My favorite is probably Lizardmen, probably, but I like almost all of them. Um, and the new one looks amazing. Like the way the magic looks and the armies and everything, like it looks so cool. So I think I would have a lot of fun with that. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to be doing some like let's play content on here for you guys because I would not even know how to do that, but I suppose it's possible in the future. Skaven followed by Lizardman. Yeah, Skaven are super cool. I firmly believe someday we will get Skaven in 40K. I firmly believe it. And Penguin, I think I saw you say, "Oh, with the amount you like Warhammer, you should get a video game." Buddy, hold your money for Space Marine 2, because if it's anything like Space Marine 1, it's going to be amazing. That's another game I'm super excited for. I played the hell out of number 1 way back in the day on Xbox 360, I think, and it was super, super good. What's this? Used to have an undead army until would that have been the Tomb Kings there, Cajun, then? Because I know that used to be an army and then they took it away, which is really sad because that was very cool. Yeah, honestly, Kid Blue. So here was my thought. I don't think I have it in me to make a whole Skaven army, but I think my silly space pirate army that has all different weird Xenos in it, including weird lizardmen Xenos, I think I could probably squeeze some rat people into there. Do we have some suggestions about what unit the rats could be? I mean, the obvious one would be ratlings, right? Like ratling snipers. I could use those like Giselle things. That'd be pretty easy. But any other ideas? I guess I could just make some like guard. I could just make like Skaven guardsmen. Could be a thing. They changed the HUD. The HUD were Skaven? I don't know if I've seen that artwork. That'd be cool though. When you find the old HUD artwork, it was Skaven in space. Then they changed it. Okay, yeah. So that's what I was gonna say. I think that I have seen the squid monster art, but I have not seen the Skaven art. That's sad. In those Imperial Hive cities that are full of mutants and weird stuff in the tunnels underneath. there's got to be some rat people down there. Like, it's even just naturally, right? You got freaking weird, kinky cat people in 40K. Why can't there be rat people? In the late 90s, they introduced Tomb Kings and split undead between Tomb Kings, and I had a necromancer army with undead archers. Didn't work for my army. Oh, GW did you dirty then. They just went around your army. That sucks. Gotta hear Good, good. Now they're in your brain. You'll be forced to remember them for the rest of the night. That is like I gotta be real. I am like super, I'm like, quite left on most things. Like I don't give a fuck like what people want to like or love or whatever. Like I don't care. It doesn't bother me at all. Furries though. I think we got to draw the line at furries, guys. That might be a bit much. That might be a bit much. I actually have a furry in my family. There's a person in my family that's a furry. But I'm just like, why? I mean, to each their own, I guess. But I'm just like, that's a bit much, don't we think? Don't we think? There has to be a line somewhere. Yeah, see, I'm not the only one. When Penguin comes in and says there's a line to be drawn, I was a little bit worried. I was waiting for Kid Blue to pop in and be like, guys, actually, I'm a furry, though. And I'd be like, shit, I've offended Kid Blue. But, yeah, I don't know. That's a bit much for me. That is a bit much for me. I don't think I can get behind or in front furries. Basement flooded. Oh, gee. Hopefully, it didn't ruin any of your Warhammer stuff. Now, I don't know if you heard my rambling earlier, Cajun, but I could probably give you some tips on how to do Skaven for cheap, if that's your goal. But I hope you do it because I love seeing 40K Skaven. I don't see enough of them. Very few people actually. A lot of people talk about it, but very few people actually go through with that conversion, I find. No, bro, I feel more welcoming knowing I'm amongst fellow freighters. Um, did you guys see what's the channel? The channel, it's on here, it's on YouTube. It's called Flash Gits. You guys watch Flash Gits? They've made a whole animated series about Black Templars killing furries, and it's pretty amazing. It's nobody wants to mention that. Nobody wants to mention the Flash Gits Warhammer animations for some reason, but yeah, they have they made Black Templars killing furries, and they got to subscribe from me. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Yeah, I'm so sorry, Cation. I just it keeps seeming like I don't care about Cation. Oh God. Yeah. Your Warhammer stuff was in your basement. Someone posted Skaven GC last year for June, so I forgot who. Oh no! Don't be afraid of trying it out because you can probably get most of the components of that for very cheap. So and they come in large groups, so you can definitely have a couple models to just mess around with first to really nail down your Skaven recipe for whatever you're doing. Um, send me send me the link to that army if you have it or if you know the creator off the top of your head. I'd love to see it. So I never see enough Skaven 40K. It seems like a no-brainer. Like it seems like a conversion a lot of people would do, but I don't see that many of it. Strangely enough. They're just cowards. They're scared of the rat people. Are rat furries a thing? Scare bots, blood, Skaven, Blood Bowl Ninja. They have a Blood Bowl team? I did not know. I bet you they are probably better sculpts than the old Skaven. I was considering making Orc Boys from their Blood Bowl team. What was this? I guarantee it. If it exists. Oh, you're talking about you're talking about you're talking about the Skaven Blood Bowl team with the minor save. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, and a lot of the sorry, a couple different things once. Yeah, the minor set. Yeah, so Cajun, the whichever ones of the Gene Stealers, the ones that are like more Gene Stealer and less human, I don't know which type that is, but they've kind of got that like hunched over posture already. So I think those would probably be your best bet for to make it easier on yourself, because like the ones that are more like upright humany, you'd probably want to like break their back a little bit and hunch them forward with some green stuff or whatever, because like that's the usual Skaven aesthetic, right? They're kind of like leaning forward. And then what's this? I've started making some Thousand Suns. Oh, you're making Thousand Suns now, Penguin. You betray the Kroot cause for filthy chaos. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's awesome. I was I had a plan. I had a plan long ago for Thousand Suns Army. I was gonna make them like space necromancers. I was gonna make all the Tzeentch demons. Um, I was gonna use the Age of Sigmar undead models, like the ones that are like spirits. I was gonna use those as like chaos spawn and stuff, and then I was gonna use skeletons or zombies or whatever as the cultists and the Zangors. So I was gonna actually have very few Thousand Suns, but they were gonna be like controlling this big undead army, and I was gonna use like some of the really big ones like the Terrorgeist and stuff as like a Mauler fiend. I had this idea and then I never did it, so I hope your Thousand Suns go well for you. Like, yep, that was the plan. That's awesome. Yeah, I think that conversion works really well. And yeah, the Gene Stealer cults is probably the perfect army for Skaven, being that they both live in sewers underneath people. It's a pretty like that. I know, and that is how I got started bashing in Molly. Huh. No, you never did any Zine stuff. Have you seen Cajun? There's a guy on Instagram that I follow, and I forget what his name is off the top of my head. Hmm. I don't follow that many people, so it should be pretty easy to look through who I follow. He he has a whole Tzeentch Tau army. Have you seen that? Because those are some pretty rad Tzeentch conversions. Where he's got like sorry, not mutated, mutilated Tau, like being ripped apart by warp horrors and shit. Yeah, Lestat Grim. Yep, that's it. Yeah, his stuff is amazing. People say I'm too hard on the Tau when I have them being killed by Kroot, but he is like straight up sadistic, but I love it. He's got like Tau that are getting like forced open heart surgery or like their faces peeled off and stuff. It's pretty amazing. All right, have a good night, Kid Blue. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Yeah, no worries, Cajun. Yeah, he's a super cool account. I've been following him for a while. He's got a whole army now. I think it's quite big now. I don't know how many points it is, but he has a Riptide mutant with a staff that holds a ripped open ethereal. Yeah. Yeah, and his what did he do? Like the for like the Remoras, he made you know how Tzeentch has the what are they called? Screamers? Called Screamers, the like evil manta rays. The he made those into the Remoras, and there's like little demons riding them. It's pretty wild. Our blue screamer. Yeah, yeah. Everything that dude made is so cool. I've actually talked to him a couple times too. Um, he actually gave me some good tips on green stuff sculpting. Obviously, I'm nowhere near doing the things he's doing, but he gave me a couple little like cheats and stuff. So my crude are test sympathizers. So it's hard to... Well, see, my crew have good reason to be upset, Penguin, but I do understand that there's probably some good Tau too. So I'm willing to accept that your Tau and your crew are okay. Are okay. Um, I always say Farsight's a homie. um, all right, I do. Geez, I keep getting sidetracked. I'm gonna finish this guy tonight. I'm determined. I keep waiting too long, and then my paints are drying. You guys can't see, but I'm fairly hunched over right now, so I'm getting uncomfy. Probably I'll just finish this guy and then I'll head her to bed. My little guy has been teething like crazy, so he has not been sleeping good and getting up early. And then it's my wife's birthday this weekend, so being the nice person that I am, I'm like, oh no, you sleep in. I'll get up with him and I'll do everything. And then I just don't sleep. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun stuff. Okay, now I'm going to do something fun. So this is where, I don't know how you guys can see. We've got all the blue done. We've got the black undercoat done. And now I'm going to go with the typhus corrosion and dirty it up. My friend that has a snake takes 2 hours to make one gene stealer. Wow. I mean, they're probably. Are you talking build a gene stealer? He's taking 2 hours to build a gene stealer. That's wild. Oh my god, it is build what? What is he doing? Is he like? Is he? I don't know how you could make it take. Does he just get distracted really easily? That's funny. I thought you meant like, I thought you meant like paint it start to finish, and I was like, that's not that bad. Building it, that's a little bit bad. I don't know what he's doing. Man, see, my friends, they're like feast or famine with the Warhammer. They're either like, they will like take a long break and then I'll go to play a game and they'll have a whole new army like out of nowhere. And they're like, "Oh yeah, I just built 1,000 points last night." And I'm like, "You haven't had anything new in like 6 months." And they're like, "Oh, I know. I got this the other day." I like to think that I'm like somewhere in between. I'm like not crazy fast, but I like if I wanted to, I can get like an infantry squad like done start to finish in a weekend. That's not crazy. He's taking his sweet time. Yeah, maybe he's just scared to face your new Tau penguin. Maybe you've like intimidated him. He's like, I saw the Tau win a tournament. I don't want to play them anymore. It's a joke, but some people are like that. Some people take this game really seriously. I get really into a project until it falls off the passion bandwagon. Then I'm on to the next, typically coming back to a new model year. Yeah, yeah, that's me. I have to at all times have like at least three or four different like either armies or at least like big projects on the go or else I get super bored. I found I found that my happy place is to have about three like armies that I'm working on, and then I can just kind of bounce between them. So like one week I'll be doing a lot of Kroot stuff, then the next week I'll do a cool like World Eaters, Demon Engine or Hellbrood or whatever. Then I'll go back to Kroot for a little bit. Then I'll put a little bit of work into Imperial Knights or these space pirates or whatever. That's I've just found over my time in the hobby that's where I want to be. I can't use the excuse of test when they lose is because what do you what do you have for your army, Penguin? I don't think I don't know if I've ever seen it. Like what all do you have like ready to go to play a game? What was it? The players at my FLGs are quite competitive and I'm quite not. So I was still having fun losing with the 8 codex, but now they don't have it's a fair chance. Yeah, Tau is pretty ruthless now. I'm just so happy that our crew can finally do something. Like it's genuinely cool that our crew like have a place in the army now. Um, that makes whoops, I opened the wrong paint. That's super exciting for me. That like you can take crew and not feel bad about it now. Because I was the same way. I was taking crew and other dumb stuff before it was cool, and now it is cool. So now it's our time in the sun. So I get super lazy when I do black on a gun or a rifle. I literally just dry brush a little bit of silver onto it and pretty much call it a day, other than maybe some like weathering. I find that's usually enough. If I'm doing a different color, like if I'm doing a bronze or something or a gold or whatever, then I'll do something else. But usually the dry brushed um, silver is good enough. Dude's got some extra bullets on his hip there. You've got just about everything other than a storm surge. Did I miss anything else? Nope. You have just about everything but a storm surge, so it's really on me. Do you have you like do you win most or have you been winning most of your games lately, Penguin? I don't know how often you play, but for sure right now everything crew is good. Broadsides are super good. Um, I think the Riptide is okay. I think he's fallen from grace a little bit, but I think especially like the big gun one, the ion cannon one. I think he can still do okay. I think he's a little bit different. He's not quite as tanky as he used to be, but it's good, reliable shooting. Crisis are super good. Everybody likes Crisis. I just don't. I've never really felt the urge to build any for my crude army, but I know a lot of people like them. The please tell me you're gonna try out the Mega Melee Commander. That dude is amazing. That is so good. He only got to fight one thing in one of my games because everything was dying to shooting too quickly. But I've done the math hammer numerous times, and he is amazing. I went about half of the time before the new codex, but after, but I have only played 3 games with the new codex. It is it is definitely there's more to it. Like there's a lot more strategies to think about with the new codex. So it's not necessarily like an auto win situation or anything like that. So I'm glad you're able to get games. Obviously, you guys aren't in like a a lockdown situation right now. Things are just finally opening up here again. Like, we're gonna be able to go to the movies and stuff shortly. They they won't let you play the melee commander? Aww. What about if you just like toned them down a little bit? Like I know I've seen some people where they don't take the gauntlet and they only take the cool flamer relic. Or maybe if you just took the gauntlet and didn't take the flamer. I don't think he's that crazy. Okay, yeah, you play him toned down. Like no joke, he is definitely good and definitely very tanky, but like I don't think he's necessarily that much better than like the really good shooty one you can make. But oh, I'm glad you're getting lots of games in. I'm glad you're having fun. I probably get 1 to 2 games a month, so nothing too crazy. But I get as much as I can. It's gonna be coming up to my birthday fairly soon. So I think I'm gonna do something special then. I'm gonna do like maybe we'll do like a really big game. We'll do like 3,000 points of Tau versus Guard or something, or 3,000 points of Ultramarines versus Kroot, and I'll bring the Taunar, and maybe I'll record that game for you guys. Would would everybody like to see a game with the actual Taunar, with the big T-Rex? He is like compared to the Storm Surge, he's terrible, but he can do stuff. I'm also going against Tyranids and Death Guard, so I'm not really excited about going to. Yeah, that's fair. Like that new commander will beat the brakes off of any of them, but then he'll die. Like he'll do it. He'll get to do it once, and then he'll be dead. So yeah, I can understand preferring to shoot those opponents. I would love to see the Dino Boy. Okay, okay, we'll do it. We'll say some point around my birthday, I'll play that game. My birthday is in May, so sometime around there, I'll get the guys together and we'll do like a big, not quite apocalypse game. Maybe, like I said, maybe it'll be like 3,000 points aside, and I'll bring the big dino. The thing is with him is it's like he's actually not durable at all. He's he's probably probably less durable actually than the Storm Surge now, which is really pathetic for considering he's 1,000 points. He's 1,000 point model, but his guns are pretty crazy. So it's like I need to go first. It's like I need to go first, and I need to kill all the things that can kill him, and then I have a good chance. But then it's just like a feel bad, and then he just like kills everybody. But I will do it for you guys. I will beat up my friends for you guys. Yeah, it's really so because it's. I think the issue is because he's Forge World Penguin, so I think his rules probably are due for an update that hasn't happened yet. So, so to give you some perspective, right? So just imagine they have no guns or whatever. Like just humor me. So the new Storm Surge is about fully kitted out. He's like 350-ish points, maybe a little bit more, maybe like 375, 380, somewhere around there. He's less than 400. For that 400 points, he's 22 wounds. He's 2 up armor, and he's a 4 up invuln save base. And then his guns are quite good. And he has like a tiny bit of melee, but it's not very good. So he's got a lot of big good guns, a lot of small guns, like pretty bad melee, but there's something, and then quite tanky. The Taunar, which is the big dino, is 1,000 points. So he's almost 3 times as expensive as the Storm Surge. He's only 30 wounds, so he's only 8 wounds more. He has a 3-up armor and a 5-up invuln, so he's got a worse save in both cases. And his guns probably are overall better, but not by that much. And then his melee is okay. It's worse than an Imperial Knight still, like stomping, but like it's okay. He could kill maybe like 3 Space Marines. So for almost 3 times the points, all you get is a couple extra wounds, slightly better shooting, and slightly better melee for 3 times the points. And so that's like he has a couple more wounds, but he's probably weaker because he doesn't have the better armor save or the better invuln. Yeah, it's pretty. The disparity between the two is pretty great. Like he was already overcosted, to be completely fair. Like even like comparing him to like what's the like an Imperial Knight Castellan, it's it's already like not looking good for the town arm. Like I said, like so I think I've played him in 3 games. All 3 games I got to go first, and he like just popped off and like I like tabled my opponents. So so he got to shine there, but it's only because I went first. Like if your opponent is like Space Marines, and they just bring like 6 Eradicators, say goodbye to your towner because they're just gonna kill him in one shot. Or I play a lot of orcs. Again, I get a lot of orcs against me, like 6 Meganobs or even probably 5 Meganobs. Probably kill him. And we're talking about a unit that's like a third the cost of him. So yeah, he's unfortunately not tanky. Hopefully they update that soon. Oh, and the Storm Surge gets to take support systems. A couple of them. I forget what ones he gets, but he gets a couple of support systems. Towner doesn't get any. It's pretty wild. And I did see your message there, Cajun. Thanks so much for sending that to me. I think I heard the notification go off. I will be checking that shortly before I go to bed. I think we're almost at the stage where we're going to be calling this guy done. Couple little tidy up things to do. I just have to do, I'm going to do, so I'll show you guys a cheat real quick here. So if you're doing any kind of like an urban rocky base, which is what my guys are doing. Whoops. No, the great Narlock is actually borderline undercosted. Because the Legends rules they got, 65 points for that thing is a steal. Mine don't have them on them, but because it's free, I just always run it with the twin Kroot gun. And they do mortal wounds on the charge. Their melee's pretty good. Their shooting's pretty good. They're like 9 wounds. Yeah, the Great Narlock is really good. The Narlock Riders kind of get outshone by the Krootoks now, I find. Because the Krootoks are so good now. But, yeah, I like the Great Narlocks a lot. You always use your Narlock. Yeah, I use them. I use them too. I have 6, and I always use at least 5. Just because they're cool. But they definitely get outshone by the Krootoks a bit now, I think. Although there is something to be said for being able to take a big unit of them. So, sorry, I'll show you guys real quick how to make a base that just looks cool and simple. So we've got our nice model. He's standing on a slab of concrete, and it's just like a rocky, gravelly bottom. Julian Payout. Lestat Grim. Yeah. Yeah, Lestat Grim is the guy with the amazing Tzeentch Tau army. Super, super cool. Super, super cool army. Very jealous. If I had all the money in the world, I would commission that dude to make me some sort of a horribly mutated army. And like, I have no need for it. It's so cool. Anyways, so what we're doing is I'm just dry brushing some gray onto the rock. And I'm going to even hit his feet a little bit, because obviously if he's walking around here, he's going to get that same gravelly dust on his feet and legs. Especially this guy is just a little short friend, pretty close to the ground. Imagine he's probably sneaking along. Okay, so that's already looking pretty good there. Certainly better than it did a minute ago. Then what I'm going to do, wash my brush off, dry it on the paper towel. Take a little bit of the brighter gray. And I'm going to just use the tiniest little bit of this one. And actually I'm going to dry my brush better because it was still a little bit of wet. And then I'm just going to hit the edges of all the rocks. Just going to make them stand out just a little bit better. But I'm not going to, or I'm going to try not to hit his feet this time. Oop. And there we have it. Looking pretty spiffy on his rock. And then if you want to get real fancy, I've been doing this on some of these models. I'll use a little bit of... Why did my paints disappear? A little bit of Calvane green. And I'm going to make like a little bit of moss or like lichen growing on the rock. Again, just need a little tiny bit of paint. Just pick a couple areas where you think that moss would be growing. Gonna probably be near the top area, the corners, and just sponge that on a little bit. Sorry, I know there's a couple messages that I missed. I will get to those in just a sec. Then you're gonna take a little bit of this, what's this, warpstone green? It's just a little bit brighter of a green. This get all dried out. Been betrayed. I don't know why my colors are getting all dried out. Anyway, again, just gonna hit the edges, a couple little spots. Don't have to be too careful. And then for a final little bit, you're gonna use Moot Green, king of all greens. This is your brightest, limiest colored green. And just the tiniest little bit right on the edges will really make that pop as moss, or I've done this similar thing to make, you know, like alien blood or swampy stuff or whatever. Anyways, our little friend here is done. It looks pretty good to me. I will post, like I said, there will be pictures up on my Patreon and on Instagram shortly for all of you guys to see. I'll take a look at the messages and make sure I didn't miss anything too crazy, and then I'm probably gonna get going to bed because it is very late for me. So let me just see what I missed here. We've so what's this? Julian Payout said you're the two people that, oh no, there we go. Oh, sorry, I almost dropped the phone. You're the two people that make me come on Instagram. Aw, thanks, dude. Very kind. What do you use to shoot your videos and record your audio? It is just my phone, unfortunately. I don't know how to say your name. I'm going to say Zenji. Unfortunately, just the way things are right now, I haven't had the extra money to buy a proper camera setup or proper anything. So that was actually my original. If you go on my, like, if you just look on my Patreon or anything, like genuinely, like any money that comes from this, like that's the extra money that I will be using to um, upgrade stuff. And I've even considered like getting more into commission painting like I used to, just to make some extra money to get some proper setup. I'm also really limited just where I'm living right now. We don't have the most room and space for like things like, like a studio and extra light and extra whatever. And it's not like I'm not like living in poverty or anything, guys. Like the way I'm sure this is for everybody in the world, like the way the economy is, the way the housing market is, and whatever. Like I just, even though I have a really good job, like I can't. Yeah, good night. Hey, thanks, dude. Yeah, I just can't get somewhere bigger yet. Hopefully, things change soon. Um, but yeah, so that's what I always say. Like any extra money, like I think when you hit 1,000 subscribers, you start making ad revenue. I'm not sure, but like any extra money that comes from this is just going to go to it. So like the first example is actually that little contest or not contest giveaway that I did. Um, I'm going to obviously have to pay to ship those models wherever they go. So the first little bit of money from my Patreon is actually going to pay for the shipping for those models. So that's why it was like my way of giving back. And like I said, I'm gonna make sure it was supposed to be a surprise for the people on Patreon, but Penguin, you got to find out early. That's why I'm gonna make sure that one of those models at least goes to you guys because obviously without you it wouldn't be possible. And then going forward, like I said, between better camera setup, I did actually finally invest in a tripod. That's what's holding the phone right now. Better camera, better tripod, and then I'm hopefully getting this computer in the next couple months, and then hopefully with that, I don't have to keep editing all these videos on my phone because it's really hard on my phone to make these videos, and it takes up a lot of space in them, and then the editing takes up even more space. So, yeah, it's really it's like this. It's not that I've bit off more than I can chew, but like this little channel of mine is actually already way more than I ever thought it would be. Like I kind of thought there'd be like maybe 50 or 100 people on here just to look at my kit bash models or whatever. So I'm doing the best I can. that's this is not like a feel bad for me. Like I'm doing great. But that's just how it is right now. Like I said, I probably should have waited to start YouTube until I had my shit together a little bit better. But I really do appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight and watching the stream and chatting about all kinds of nonsense. It was genuinely a pleasure, genuinely a ton of fun. I enjoyed hearing from all of you and different places you live and whatnot. And yeah, hope you're all having a good night. Hope everybody is happy, healthy, safe, all that good stuff. Adios. I'm heading out.